So one of the greatest advantages of the Torqeedo is it allows you to cover water quickly, but you have to use it the right way. And pattern development is a critical part of that. Knowing if you want to go somewhere fast, knowing where it is that you want to get to. And today, certainly with the sun being up, these smallmouth are tucked into the into the wood. The scour outs around the root balls. And I always, I was a river kayak fishing guide for about 10 years, and when I had students coming to me with a certain skill set ahead of time, I'd noticed that they were one of two types of anglers. Either they were the angler that did a float trip and just drifted and chucked something and winded it, or hopefully what I would grow them into and teach them is pattern development, where you're the angler that instead of just drifting and chucking, you're the angler that is really going as quickly as you can with a very specific target in mind, where you're going fast and then you're stopping and really working whatever that is. Pattern development starts with observations about location and presentation, and today the location type was wood with depth and current. The presentation is you put that soft plastic or whatever it is, and it's been a spinnerbait bite yesterday, but today with the sun up you really have to get it underneath that wood and let it sit. To that end, we have how many more miles of this float trip?
Right now we've got about 4 to 5 miles today left.
Okay. Certainly we have the time to really to just drift and chuck, but I don't want to do that. I really want to spend a lot of time moving quickly from wood with current in a little bit of depth. That wood makes some shade. So we're going to use the motors and go quickly. And I know you've recently switched from the 320 watt hour battery to the 915. That allows you to cover that that distance in between those wood examples at full speed. Any thoughts on what it's meant for you as a river angler, or just an angler in general, what the 915 has meant for you?
Absolutely, it's made an enormous difference on my trips. With a smaller battery, with the 320, I had to plan my trip with that motor. I knew wherever I was launching, if I needed to go 2 or 3 miles in the morning, I'm going to go full throttle and get to that spot. I'm going to use a certain percentage of the battery, and I would keep track of that. And then covering a certain amount of distance all day long, trolling and puttering around from here to there, I knew I had a small, a certain large allotment, about 50% of the battery I'd want to use for that. Right. And then I always had to watch by the end of the day that I had enough juice to be able to get back where I started and get back to my truck to be able to go home.
So with the 320, you had to budget your power, and now with the 915, if you want to go full speed wherever you want,
I don't pay attention to the percentage of my battery life with the 915 at all.